welcome to Business on Joy News. Today, diversify your economy and strengthen state institutions, and that could help sustain the projected pickup in the economic growth rate. That's the advice coming from the visiting IMF Deputy Director in charge of research, Gian Maria Melisi Ferretti. This follows forecast by the fund that Ghana's economic growth would reach 8.9% by end of next year. It is also forecasting some significant economic growth over the next few years. But Mr. Melisi Ferretti tells Joy Business it is crucial that these measures are implemented for these projections to be realized.
Prices clearly help for commodity exporters, and with a pickup in global demand, we see that commodity prices are rising. But it is very easy to have those resources being wasted in good times. So it is very important to ensure that the economy has the incentives to stay diversified, because it is great if you have more oil production, but clearly employment-wise, this is not a sector that is going to resolve sort of a big increase in the workforce population as most of the countries in the region are going to have. It's a very capital-intensive business. It's very important to lay the conditions for the birth of firms that are able to employ young and educated workers and provide a more diversified structure for the economy. And how one achieves that, well, you know, business climate is important, but also a fair tax system that does not overly rely on one sector and that creates enough revenue so that the government can do those investments in strengthening infrastructure, in improving the education system that will make the workforce of tomorrow more productive than the one of today.
Now, where business owners say the operations are negatively being impacted by the 3% VAT Flat Rate. Now, government announced the tax in the 2017 budget ahead of Wednesday's budget presentation. The Ashanti Business Owners Association says the tax puts a strain on the operations. General Secretary of the association, Mark Osei-Boache, has called on government to rather consider deducting VAT from manufacturing and the point of entry.
What concern is that with this 3% flat rate, we can no more trade among ourselves. If someone has a product, the person has to add 3%. You have to buy at the 3% inclusive and also add another 3%, which will make it impossible. By looking at the nature of our business, it is one person who buys the bulk and he breaks the bulk for us also to support. We all sell at the same price and get the profit. So this 3% flat rate makes it impossible for us to trade among ourselves. Number two, assuming that you sold something, a product to somebody, and after some time the person is not able to sell, the person has to reverse the transaction, bring you the goods. With the 3%, you've already taken the 3% and paid to the government. How is it going to be so? We can't do it that way. The other aspect is looking at the shelf life of our products, which you have to hurry up in selling. At times, especially at times, it calls for you to reduce your price and lose, because if you don't lose small, you lose big. So losing the government says that whether you are losing or not, you have to take the 3% and give it to the government, which makes it very difficult for you also to dispose of that product that you want to sell.
Well, in a few hours' time, the president will be opening the ultra-modern Octagon Business and Retail Center. The facility, located in the heart of Accra, is a project embarked upon by Dream Realty, and my colleague Charles Aite is one of the few people who have had the opportunity to tour the facility ahead of the official opening. He joins us now with more. Charles, tell us what is happening where you are right now.
Well, what is happening is that the entire, outskirts of this very lovely edifice has been cordoned off to the general public, as the president is going to be the next few minutes. Is being expected here to officially launch this very edifice. I mean, we're talking about, hundreds of office spaces currently here for grabs in terms of rent and, of course, for sale as well. We're also talking about the tightened security in this very edifice. That's the Octagon edifice in that very regard. And, just to have you get a feel of what exactly is happening outside right now. As you can see, all is set for the ceremony right here. the red carpet has been laid, as several dignitaries, especially those from the diplomatic corps, are currently here to witness this very wonderful ceremony. Ongoing at the moment is a drum appellation by the Ghana the police service in that very regard, as we've seen other guests of honors also seated with umbrellas over their heads in the wake of the Scottish stand. You can see from the very far distance Yofi Grant, the Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana, that's the JIPC, in that very regard, as they await the president to launch the official opening of the Octagon edifice. So it's all going to be starting here, Darryl. That's where the launch is going to be taking place. The president's going to be cutting the ribbon in that very regard. So everything's going to be happening right here, as the edifice, the Octagon edifice in that regard. We're just waiting for the president, who is here to be expressing what government has in the wake of this very edifice, and the expectations as well for several business owners across the country. The situation of this very edifice is very phenomenal. We're talking about being in the heart of Accra, where businesses, both financial and informal sectors, do take place here. So much activities in the next couple of hours, Darryl.
All right, and certainly we'll be bringing that live to our viewers. You want to stay tuned to this channel. That'll be it for business. But don't forget, at 1 o'clock, we'll bring you the marketplace. Do stay.